Hello everyone and welcome to the Cone Racing League. We are at Japan today for round 6 and I'm going to apologise in advance because I have a bit of a cold and a cough, so it may sound a bit funny, but hopefully it's alright. Only 17 drivers today. The race should be, well, qualifying should be underway shortly. And hopefully we can get into the race. Slightly delayed today, but not too badly. I think the drivers will be readying up any second. So it is just me solo commentating today. Wild Dog, usual co-commentator, not able to be here. But yeah, coming off the back of 2 KXI wins, and actually a 3-race podium streak for him. So he has a 51-point lead over 4-star. The rest of the pack, not much gaps between them, quite far down the order. So just KXI is the only real outlier at the moment, but there we go. Should be a very interesting one, given Japan as a circuit, not everyone's favourite. Few overtaking opportunities, some very twisty sections. Hopefully not too many big incidents into the first few corners. Quite easy to go for a send. Be surprised if there wasn't a single safety car or DNF here. But actually with only 17 drivers, we are going to end up with only 2 getting knocked out of Q1. Shall we starting in 20 seconds unless all the drivers ready up first. So actually, yeah, next week is going to be the gap week. They had 6 races and then they're taking a break week, and then they've got the other 8. So after the break it is going to be Portimao. They changed China for the new track. So hopefully actually they're quite interesting to watch. It's going to be a couple of weeks away, and it's certainly not a track I've commentated on before, and not a track these guys don't have too much experience in driving. It makes up the order for those who kind of rely on past experience. Those who practice lots newer to the game might fare better. So we see Jamie Robertson going out on some mediums. Oh, actually, something I ought to mention. I know Tier 4 for a while have been streaming. I don't know if it's using OBS or something else, but through the PC so they can get some graphics up. I recently got a bit of hardware that will hopefully let me do that myself. So if all goes well, this Warrior Huntsman in the gravel on his outlap, not quite sure what he did there. Got his whole front wing though. Hopefully from next week I will be able to have fancy graphics, stick stuff up when needed, and the stream quality will improve quite a bit. So from what I've been shown, it is probably going to be a dry race like a light chance it might rain a bit later on as Jamie starts his lap off. So you got one driver ahead of him. Unless he speeds up, might have to go for an awkward overtake through the S's. And he's got, ooh, as he goes around. And that is, that technically still not invalidated, but of course not going to be a good one anymore. I think Draper might be one of the next. Yep, Draper will be the first driver to set a lap now. Well, certainly a good lap. Jamie Robertson pulling over to the side, getting off the racing line. Ooh, Warrior Huntsman, we saw him spin on his out lap, now on his racing lap. In the same place he's crashed and taken his car out. So he will not be setting a lap this qualifying session. And that means that now only one of the drivers remaining will be knocked out based on time. It's not a good start from him. There we go. Let's see what benchmark Draper can set. So a 130.3. Let's see what others can respond to that. Look at who we have nearing the end. Dark's near the end. It's Jamie, of course, didn't actually validate his lap, just a very slow one. We're looking to improve. Dark has also validated his though. Ron getting further near the end of his lap. But I think Daru may make it to the line first, showing his is good. Yep, Daru a 130 flat. It looked like the Aston Martin unhappy with his lap. Was going to go around again, but had a bit of a moment there. Slow exit out the final chicane because of it. So then on board with Raw. Driver who showed himself to have some mighty pace, currently 6th in the championship. Well, it would certainly not surprise me if he came out of this race with that number being higher. It's a bit of a slow one here by him. A 133.6. Not sure if he wasn't pushing or what. As it's like KXI has gone around. No. To be Ron, again, seems to be struggling with this track. That he's going slow. No, he's got no front wing. He must have gone off somewhere as KXI sets the fastest lap. So then, who else do we have coming to set laps? Dark across the line. He sets the new fastest lap, 10th and a half quicker than KXI. Kurt will be starting his lap fairly soon. Who else do we have then? Steiny halfway through his lap. We'll hop on board with him. Steiny, one of the drivers who've won this season. Very good win for him at France, I seem to remember. Dominated the qualifying and the race there. So a purple middle sector for him. Let's see where he can challenge. Ooh, he's rolled. There we go. Sets the fastest lap. Him a 129.4. Steiny, a little bit of a moment there, but catches it and sets the fastest lap with a 129 flat by him. We'll be happy with that lap. Jamie Robertson, I think, setting his third lap. 5th on the mediums. Missed his middle lap though. Kurt catches the curb, throws him off a bit. This is essentially now just don't be the slowest driver. There will only be one getting knocked out because of their time. As drivers know. Try to save their soft tyres for later, setting a 1:30.7. The slowest time at the moment, as Daru goes up to 2nd fastest. Freefall about to start his lap. Actually, Krishna currently furthest through on a timed lap. And we'll see where he can slot in. (1:29.9), second slowest time on the soft tyre currently. So we want to try and improve that. Certainly not the end of the world. Not too much pressure for the drivers in this session. Just got to keep it out of the wall. I think Freefall clear enough track ahead of him. Kurt will be going into the pits, quite possibly Daru as well. Oh, and that is an Aston Martin off. Is that? It's not Ronnie in, is it? Oh no. Freefall going into 7th on the mediums. Sorry for not announcing that. On board with him. Let's see what his teammate can do. Both the McLaren drivers using the medium tyres here. To 9th for him, 1,000th behind Jamie Robertson. Not much separating those drivers at all. So Krishna, I'd assume now looking to improve. And he does improve up to 5th position for him. 3.5 tenths on his previous lap. Sorry. So is that. Seems to be starting his lap. Kurt half a second up on his previous. Does only look at potentially gaining him 1 position. So most of the guys are in or just missing the 29s. Can he beat his teammate? Not quite, missing out by 0.02 of a second. He's going to need to try and find some more time there. Freefall going around for another lap. And that is Ron off again. Does not seem to be his track. Lost his right front end plate there. So Tobes, one of the drivers, to still settle up. Looked like he nearly invalidated there. Coming through the last chicane. It's Klopiar ahead of him. So it's a 1:30.5. Tobes also matching that, but slightly quicker by 6 tenths. We've got a Haas off at Spoon. So Marty invalidated his lap there. Only 3 drivers still not yet to set a lap. And quite a lot of drivers still on the mediums. I think this is Freefall coming around for another one. Ah no, slow lap by him. 4-star needs an invite, got you. I will chuck 4-star an invite very quickly. That is not where you send invites from. Let's try that again. Sorry for the brief interruption. One of the drivers needing another invite. Did see me leave earlier, but assumed he'd have a backup one. Hopefully. Sane is in the lobby. I can't send an invite because he's joined Nathan, so not sure. Will I get back to the qualifying? So Draper now actually going onto the mediums. You might want to find a bit of time towards the end of the field. Yeah, you can see 4-star back on track, so definitely in the lobby, which is good to know. Doesn't have too much time to set a lap, but hopefully enough that he'll be happy with. It's not an Aston Martin going off on their outlap. I think Krishna may have gone off in the S's there briefly. Yeah, I think... Oh no. Just gave him a yellow, but actually he is green in the first sector, although now slowing down. Never mind, he wasn't green. Is his outlap green? Unsure. Draper did improve slightly, not by too much. Freefall happy with his time retiring from the session. So now anyone ahead of Freefall is automatically safe and can afford to retire unless they want to get some practice laps in. Freefall himself isn't technically safe. So Draper I think just cruising around, but 4-star. I seem to remember he won one round here. Ah no, he came second round 1, third round 2, and then missed round 3. So I think he was our championship leader at one point. A race down at the moment. Yeah, 4-star was leading the championship at the end of round 2. And Jamie Robertson now retiring means Freefall is safe. KXI, hopefully not getting in the way of 4-star too much. Looking like actually he's going to give him a slipstream, whether deliberate or not I'm unsure. That looked pretty deliberate, quite possibly in a party working together there. Might be helping 4-star out after he's only able to get 1 lap in. 4-star does the time to go round once more, but only once more. Be hoping to make this one count. And there we go, up to 7th for him, and that's 4-star safe to go through to Q2. All Draper retiring from 12th. We've got near the end of the lap. Ron nearing the end of his lap. Let's see where Ron can put it. And Ron is up into 13th position. Got time for 1 more lap. I think he will be the last man. Oh no. Kurt will have time to go around 1 more time after this. Kurt will be looking for 2.5 tenths here. Of course, that was set on his mediums, now on his softs. able to get himself to safety. And Draper all of a sudden not looking so safe. So Marty with the first man to cross the line. Can he get himself into safety? Yes he can, up to 5th for him. Tobes then, looking like he's going to gain half a second. And all this with Luke, keep it clean around the last corner. And there we go, across the line to 8th position for him. Linda's now can... Oh no, Ron's invalidated. So Draper is safe. Ron will not be going through to Q2. Not the best session from him. But hopefully he can redeem himself in the race. So that concludes Q1. But look, we're only going to have a couple of drivers knocked out. Warrior Huntsman very quickly deciding one of them. A mistake by him. 2 laps in a row, off in the same place. One of them was only in his out lap as well. So, should have been a sign there he had to be careful. But I think Hobbsy just moved out of the way for an AI. But once Hobbsy has crossed the line and Ron has retired, then we will move on to Q2, where the competition will start to get close as drivers will really have to push. Already you can see how small some of the gaps are. I know we saw one that was 1,000th, one that was 2,000ths, but throughout the field quite tightly packed. Is that deliberately a quadrant yellow colour? Not sure. Might be a Norris inspired helmet. Might be making things up. But Steiny with the fastest time, 3/10 than everyone else there. But the rest of the pack, very, very close. Everyone who set a time, especially if we ignore Steiny, within 1 second, but even then, only 1.1 seconds separating the 16 drivers who set a time. So with 5 of them having to fight, well, 5 of them getting knocked out in Q2, it should certainly be close. And the drivers seeing if they can get away with qualifying on mediums, or forced to go onto softs in order to get themselves through to the top 10. So here we go, on to Q2. Gonna get everything up. A couple drivers, 3 drivers now on the mediums. That number will probably gradually increase. Not yet seen anyone go out on track. Although actually I'm seeing some movement there in the middle. With what is probably Jamie Robertson, given his track record of going out as soon as he can. Yep, there we go. Also movement by Daru on the mediums. And I suspect a few other drivers are also heading out the pit lane. Is that KXI or dark? You can't quite tell the colour. I think that's dark. Yes. So Jamie Robertson, first driver out on track. Short kind of times they could set in Q1. Validating out that, not that that really matters. They're reminders to him to pay attention for track limits in his quicker laps. So, having a look, we've had 5 rounds so far. 2 wins going to KXI, 1 win going to... Wait, I'm looking at the wrong thing. I'm in Chile. What am I doing? Yeah. 5 rounds so far, 2 wins going to KXI, I was right there. 1 win going to Kurt, who I think was actually reserve, yeah. Shiny winning in France, and then Deluxey won round 1, although I'm pretty sure he got promoted to tier 1 if I'm not mistaken. So Jamie Robson now starting his lap off. So starting halfway through the S's. Of course, going to be setting those purple sectors. First man to set them in this session. Now on the soft tyres, he'll be hoping for a mid to low 29. Though only being the first lap, not too essential. He starts out with an amazing one, just wants to get a time on the board. As we have an Alfa Romeo off in the S's, that looks to be raw. So raw went out on the medium tyres. Steiny moving out the way of his teammate. Now through the final chicane. And a 1:29.7, that's not a bad lap. One who wants to improve throughout the session. Raw with the next man, sorry, Deroute. And he is on the medium tyres. So there's a slight twitch there, catches it. 1:30 flats on the medium tyres, that's not too bad. Freefall just starting his lap out as Dark goes second fastest time on the mediums. 4-star with the next man to the line. He sits at 29.8. And then Claire PR up into third. Slowest for the soft times, faster than all the mediums. Is that a mistake by Deroute? Yes, in the S's. Luckily didn't use a tyre for him. Already front wing. So unless he's got side pod damage, then I guess if his tyres are healthy, then he can keep going around. Raw, of course, saw him go off, setting a slower time. Krishna, though, up into third position on mediums. So Krishna, not had the best season so far. Currently at the bottom of the standings. Is that the other Alfa Romeo going off? Or, no, it's just a yellow sector. Okay. Sorry for jumping around so much. Just shiny. Slow time by him. Must have been a mistake in there somewhere. Free fall. Fastest time with the 1:29.6. Be happy to jump to the front of the board. And 4-star coming into the pit lane. Along with, I suspect, Claire PR and Dark. Krishna, though, on the mediums, going sufficiently fast. He might be coming around for another one. And he is, stays out. And he improves the fastest time of 1:29.5 set on the medium compound here. Mr. Deroute. We saw him go off last time. But had a slow lap, keep his tyres as healthy as possible. This track gives way too many false positives with the yellow flags. Hopefully that doesn't cause any problems for the drivers during the race. There's Kurt looking to set a time on the soft tyres. And he sets a 1:29.8 up into 5th position. Ahead of the majority of the mediums, minus Krishna with his mighty lap. Also Steiny, one up in him, also on the mediums, so 29.4. And if he can keep this up, this might be a repeat of what happened at France. He had a very good race there, showing similar pace here so far. So Hobbs, the purple middle sector. No, not a perfect chicane for him. This time still not looking too bad at 1:29.8. Just a few hundredths ahead of Kurt. Tobes, 1:30.4. We'll be looking to improve that time if he can. Krishna happy with his time retires. I think that was certainly the right decision there. Marty up into 6th position. Less than 100th ahead of Hobbsy. Oh, Hobbsy completely losing his front wing there. Sorry, Tobes. Ferrari driver is lucky to not have lost his wheel. This is Hobbsy on an in-lap, Broad behind him on an out-lap. Marty though is on a lap. His teammate making sure to stay well out the way. So currently nearly 3/10 up on where he was. That'll look at putting him right near the front. Taking a very good chicane there. And that is the fastest time for him, up to the front of the order for Marty. The top 3 guys all on the medium compound. Raw going wide there, invalidating, only just caught that. Still needs to set a time he's happy with. Now looking at this order now, I'm really not sure who are going to be the drivers knocked out. Not even sure 29.8 will guarantee you're safe here. Dark, is that a mistake by him crashing? Wrong Ferrari. I think it is, I think he must have made a mistake. I'm not sure if that was at 130R or Degner 2. So he's right on where the tracks cross. Okay, cross. Not drunk, I promise. But that is Dark out of Q3. And he'll be qualifying at best in 11th position. So Steiny, sorry, KXO, coming off the back of 2 wins, he'll either feel comfortable with his massive lead or pressured to keep it. But if it's pressure, then he's certainly dealing with it well. Up to the front for KXI. And it's Derugo's up second fastest, only just behind KXI. Those two drivers are reaffirming that they're some of the quickest here. Draper getting a little bit on the grass there. And going into the pit lane. Just that. Tobe's just starting his lap. I think we will follow. Hop aboard with 4-star. He'll be wanting to improve. Currently only 9th, unlikely to be safe at that time. Just to see how close some of the drivers are together. Not many big gaps in the field there. Top 13, not much between them at all. Is that a Draper retiring in the pit lane? Possibly doesn't think he can improve. I'm not confident to say that Draper's safe. I think it's quite a heavy risk of being knocked out. 4-star jumping him up to 7th position. Clerpiard with the next man across the line. He's got this lap plus one more after to work with. Doesn't improve, so now on final attempt to improve. Who else do we have? Next man with Tobes. Looks like he's got at least 3/10 in the tank. Up into 6th position, found 8. Certainly the direction he wants to be heading there. Jamie Robertson starting his final lap. Oh. Don't know what 4-star did there. Lost his front wing though. So essentially 4-star now unable to improve, as this was his final lap. Must have caught the curb out of Degner 2, got it in the wall. Now his job is to just stay out the way of people. They're going to have to go quite slowly, so he doesn't really have the downforce here to push too hard. Two Alfa Romeos, one behind the other, both now on the soft. Raw's current fastest time on the medium. His only proper attempt at a lap. Purple middle sector, with him being 17 seconds purple, that puts him on for a 29. Now let's see what damage he can do to the order. Can he push Draper out the top 10? Yes he can, up to 5th position for him. And I suspect he will be safe. Already 3 drivers for certain being knocked out. Just Hobbsy and Kurtz trying to fight their way back in. Hobbsy were the first of them to cross the line. And he pushed Jamie Robertson out the top 10. Yes he can, up to 7th position for him. Jamie Robertson though, able to go straight to the front for him with a 1:29 flat, and it is now Kurtz who's 4/10 screen, trying to knock out Freefall. If he can keep those 4/10, he should have this. And there we go, 4th position for him, and that concludes Q2. Less than a second separating the entire pack there. Freefall, 4-star, Draper, Clerpiard and Dark getting knocked out. Marty, Steiny and Krishna will all be able to start from within the top 10. Well, all will be starting within the top 10 on mediums. Not will be able to. They will be. No choice there. There we go. Another fastest by AlphaTauri. Steiny will be pretty happy with it being on the mediums. Although Marty, the fastest time on the mediums. See, not much in the gaps there. Half a second would not have been close enough to get you through. It's going to be a good race. Really, really small gaps throughout the entire field here. Q3 is going to be a close one. And certainly looking at the majority of this list, including some of the guys who got knocked out, any of them realistically could get a podium. It's all down to how they deal with the race. None of them really have a massive pace advantage. They've just got to use the situation to the best. See what they can do with it. So now on to the third and final qualifying session. And Jamie Robertson immediately going out onto track. Something Club Yards just pointed out, apparently this is his first missed Q3 of the season. Hadn't realised that. He is a quick driver. And this round 6 finally knocking him out of the top 10 in qualifying. 2 AlphaTauris nose to tail. Steiny letting Jamie Robertson through. So, one of the Ferraris, KXI and Hobbsy also heading out the pit lane. Never mind, both of the Ferraris, they're just on top of each other. Seems some of the teams decided super rides. So perhaps Jamie Robertson giving his teammate a slipstream here. Not sure if this is deliberate or if he'll be looking for space. Steiny behind him, warming up his tyres. Yeah, opting to leave more space there. Won't be any deliberate slipstream given. Certainly hurts a lot during the S's at the start of the lap. Oh, and Jamie Robertson, guessing made a mistake, decided wasn't going to go through the lap, and then Steiny go through. Steiny now the first man to be setting a lap. 2 Ferraris, right nose to tail. Bit of a gap between them. Oh, hopefully they won't get in each other's way too much. Ferrari is currently the constructor with the least points in this championship. Only 21 points between them. I think Marty's a reserve. And that is a yellow for one of the Ferraris with his Tobes. And I wonder if that was caused by the dirty air from his teammate. Steiny sets the first 128 we've seen. And he might as well just retire now. He'll be definitely happy with that lap. Jamie Robertson, we saw earlier, invalidated his. So Marty also invalidating his lap. How about KXI? Must have made a mistake somewhere. Letting Hobbsy through, so Hobbsy will be the next man we see set a time. Certainly set a good time. He comes through 130R now into the final sector. Ferrari perhaps offering him a tiny bit of slipstream here. No, into the pit lane. Another fairly quick time by him. Marty into the pits. Tobes won't be set in a quick lap. So Raw will be our next man. And Raw comes across the line at 129.4. Quick, but given how quick they seem to be at the moment, going to want to try and improve that as Deroux sets at 129 flat. Now JB Robertson slipstreamed by Steiny. Steiny pulling out the way. And we might just see an AlphaTauri 1-2 by the end of this lap. Both mighty quick drivers. They're deliberately giving each other slipstream. That can make all the difference. And there we go. A provisional front row lockout for AlphaTauri. Exactly a tenth to the next nearest competitor. Not too much separating the two of them. Krishna up to the fourth position at 29.2. Oh, and is that Raw in the wall there, I think? Raw has crashed, lost a tyre somewhere, I didn't catch it. Raw, it seems, is knocked out of Q3, unable to improve his time anymore. Being a 29.4, he would have wanted to find a little bit more time in there if he could. A few tenths could have meant a lot there. Trying to find a driver who's on a lap. Don't believe Krishna is. Certainly seems unlikely. I think our next man will not be until KXI finishes his out lap. So we'll hop on board with him for the moment. Yep, Krishna comes into the pit lane, and KXI soon to be starting his lap off. So this man currently on a 2-race win streak, a 3-race podium streak, leading the championship, and he'll definitely be the driver leading the championship by the end of this race. Sufficient enough lead that no matter what happens here, unless he's somehow loses points, it'll still be his job to retain that lead as much as possible. Although actually 4-star being out in Q2 will be good for him. 4-star driver currently in second. Steiny, however, in third. But Steiny is 61 points behind him. 4-star being 51 points back. A few other drivers now in their out laps. I don't know why Jamie Robertson's trying to improve, but if he can, go him. Of course, the benefit is slipstream last time. But it's never too late to practice. If you got the opportunity, take it. So, KXI rounding the final corner. Keeps the car nice and steady. Sets a 29.2, putting him into 5th position. Now only 2.5 minutes left on the clock. Deroux starting his lap. He's got this plus one more. He can't afford to pit again. So at the very least has to keep it out of the wall. Doesn't want his tyres getting too old. Although I haven't said that, our only driver who set a time on 2 lap old softs is the driver with the fastest time, so flying into the 2 Degner corners and into the hairpin. We might see a few cheeky dive bombs here, especially when the field's nice and cramped together. Hopefully no collisions too heavy. So, now, purple middle sector. He is a 10th green, or just over 10th green, which puts him on line to be ahead of Steiny. He needs a little bit more though to get Jamie Robertson. Can he find it? Yes, he can. Another 28.9. 4 thousandths ahead of Jamie Robertson. Sorry, 400ths. Jamie Robertson not going for it this lap. Trying to stay out the way. Is that Toves? No. Toves, of course, very green after a mistake in his previous time. I'm trying to work out who will be the next to set a lap. I believe it to be Hobbsy. Is Deroux just put it into the wall after setting an absolutely flying lap? I think he has. Krishna and then sets the fastest time at 28.8, and more improvement, more time to be found there. Tobe setting his first proper lap. Slowest time so far minus Roll with 29.4, but still mighty quick. This guy's setting much quicker times than earlier sessions. I know Deroux did retire in the pit lane, I think. That is now AlphaTauri making a mistake. Yes. Still with his front wing though, but will not have a time now to improve his lap. All drivers currently on their final lap with KXI, Toves, Raw and Deroux all unable to improve. Marty, so his one and only lap, what can he do? Straight to the front with a 28.6 for him. Goes another driver yet to set a lap. And these guys just keep finding more and more time. Kurt fractionally deep there. Good recovery though. 29.2 for him, and that's only 7th position. Car's that ahead? Not sure. Hobbsy not improving his time. Jamie Robertson into the pit lane. Steiny then the next man also into the pit lane, as is Krishna, and that then concludes Q3 with Marty getting the pole position, Krishna in 2nd position, and Deroux Following up in third, continuing down the order, Jamie Robertson fourth, his teammate Steiny fifth, Hobbsy sixth, Kurt seventh, our championship leader KXI in eighth, Tobes in ninth, and Raw finishing up the order after his crash at the end of that hairpin that I don't know the name of. But some very, very, very quick times there set by drivers. And we'll see what a race it will then turn into. I certainly don't feel enough to predict a winner here. Marty, of course, nearly 2/10 ahead of the rest of the field. But you don't know if that's the best lap he's ever set, or if he truly is going to demolish the rest of the competition. A big well done to him. Puts him in the right position for the race starting. So the formation lap starting shortly. Drivers now picking their strategies. And actually ought to mention, for anyone interested, I suspect Tier 1 will be starting their qualifying shortly. Although they always seem to have, the guy who's commentating for that always seems to struggle getting it done on this channel. So if you're on one of the drivers who are in the Discord server, or just anyone in the Discord server, should be able to find the link somewhere in there when it pops up. But otherwise, you're just going to have to search for it. Although what I usually recommend is sticking with us to our race ends and then hopping on board with them, catching the end of their Q3 and their race. So there we go. Driver's now free to ready up. And the formation lap, and therefore the race will be starting shortly. Sounds like there's not much of a chance of rain. So here we go. See the tyres outside the top 10. Freefall, Draper and Ron on the SOS, 4-star Club PR and Warrior Huntsman on the mediums, and Dark on the hard tyres. 3 drivers who made it through to the top 10 starting on the mediums. Our pole sitter Marty, the other driver on the front row Krishna, and our current championship P3 Steiny in 5th. While the drivers are warming up the tyres, I'm going to apologise again if I do cough or sniffle or sneeze throughout this. Do have a bit of a cold and cough at the moment. Might be to tell from my voice being a bit kind of slightly bunged up, but shouldn't be too bad. So Marty now coming onto the front straight. He'll be into his grid spot. And the last driver pulls onto the grid. Oh, wrong way. There you go. There we go. 5 lights and away they go. Japanese Grand Prix starting, and immediately there we go. And Marty, good getaway. Krishna holding second position there. A few drivers going side by side. Hobbsy already down 2 positions. Dark also down 2. Oh, and that is a spinning. That's Marty. Marty straight back down to the last position. Don't know if it was contact or what caused that. Oh no. And Marty out of this race already before it barely even started. Don't know if that's an unsafe rejoin by him. Draper caught him or what, but Marty's race over before he even started, having got pole position, understandably leaves the session immediately. That is an almighty shame for him. No safety car brought out though. So for now, Draper's just going to have to suffer, get his head down, do what he can. But that has got to hurt Marty. What was that? Tobes also falling down some positions there. I think he must have had a bit of a moment either into the chicane or through the chicane. Warrior Huntsman's gaining lots of positions here. Oh, Ron looking to remove from the outside there. Warrior Huntsman squeezing him slightly, not really leaving him enough room. Oh, taps on the rear again. Really trying to look for a way past. Not able to find a big enough gap though. Still hot on his tail, looking for a move. Already a gap building between 12th and 13th. Now side by side, it looks like Ron is through. Warrior Huntsman now perhaps under threat from his teammate behind him. Oh, and that's Tobes in the wall. Crashed at the exit of Spoon. And Ferrari's luck really not looking too good here. VSC brought out 2 laps down, 2 Ferraris out. Now it's up for Daru to get the best jump he can on Krishna at the VSC restart. Didn't see what caused that. So there's some close gaps. Steiny pushing it a little bit here. Oh, a lot of it. Now down to just 15 drivers, so all drivers who finish will score. Oh. The hairpin forcing more time on the VSC. And free fall right behind 4-star. Looks like he might be going for a move shortly. Hard to go for an overtaking to spoon though. But if you can stay near enough, you can line one up down the back straight. Well, actually not gaining too much. Perhaps saving his ERS while other drivers around him burn it. Now using some of his ERS, got DRS as well. 4-star, probably under the same conditions. It's a three-way battle for 8th position. Raging on, 4-star heavily under threat from behind, but also trying to attack in front of him. Oh, Kurt and Steiny side by side there. Steiny not quite able to get a movement up the inside. Doesn't get a grip on the exit. Doesn't get the grip on the exit. But now, still looking to keep close to Kurt's. Both identical amounts of ERS it looks like. Steiny maybe fractionally more. Now looking for a move down this back straight. And there we go, through, let's go. One straight behind the other into 130R, and you can't really get in the braking zone when you're going slower. There we go, Steiny back through past Kurtz. Through, setting the fastest lap there. Not really too sure what Steiny was doing there in terms of defence. But both side by side through that first double right-hander. Oh, and a little bit of a bump there. Kurt managed to hold it, but not able to stay alongside because of it. The gap now increased a bit as Dark's made a mistake. Don't know if that was a collision with his teammate or just a mistake by himself. Bring that temporary yellow flag, not really affecting too many of the drivers. Free fall, right in 4-star's tail hit. Majority of the drivers up from where they started after the pole sitter crashed out. So, those who've really gained positions will be up 2 or 3, or even in a couple of cases 4. Forced going a little bit deep there. Now it's free fall close enough. Both drivers using the ERS and DRS. It's not close enough. You can have a sniff. It's not really on for an overtake though. Chooses to avoid it. The leaders up front still very close together. Daru right behind Krishna. Now actually, looking at the tyres here, the longer the race goes on, the more it's going to benefit Krishna. The softs eventually start wearing down, with mediums to be lasting longer. Daru, nice and close. Using a bit of ERS, looking for the inside, just catches his rear tyre though. So loses the overspeed he had. Not really quite able to get anything done there. Possible both drivers got warnings there. Now using that DRS, and it looks like Deroux is through into the lead. Krishna forced to concede back, though he might get him again in the next few laps. The two AlphaTauris actually swapping their third and fourth positions. Possible now. Those two seem to be working together quite well, so it's possible they're agreeing that the medium is now the faster of the two tyres. And this battle for 8th is still heavily raging on. Oh, and Steiny is into the wall. Goes wide, didn't see what happened, but appeared to be the same thing that happened to Warrior Huntsman in qualifying. Don't know if that was him going side by side with his teammate or just making a mistake himself there. Well, at his points he did not want to be losing. Looked to be a fairly certain top 5 for him. Sorry, top 4 maybe. And the battle for 8th now becomes the battle for 7th. Free fault. Might have incurred a warning from that. Oh, and I nearly missed an overtake for the lead. Oh, and contact between the two leaders. Krishna gone around. Jamie luckily ghosting through him. Krishna having to wait for all the traffic, so he does not get in there. A lot of time there from that contact. And that might end up with an penalty being dropped on Deroux post-race. Oh, and that's a yellow flag for Krishna now. Tyres hot, I guess, made another mistake out of Degner too. We see, right, he's got no front wing at all. And it's all gone downhill for him. A lot of drivers getting some very nasty luck here. It's a bit of a train here from 5th all the way down to 10th, it looks like. Lap 9 already, a third of the way into the race, or there will be by the end of this lap. It's Ron not getting past Clerpier actually going off. Krishna getting 5 seconds of swing in the pit lane. I suspect you're about to see a retirement by him. And Clerpier, his tyres hot. Pushed them too hard when they already weren't in great condition. No, Krishna going onto the soft tyres. Nice to see him still back up and racing. He'll be hoping for a safety car though. Yeah, this group all still really close together. This Clerpier makes another mistake. Still got his front wing after going off 3 times. Can't say the same amount of sanity at this point, but there's a few drivers starting to peel off into the pit lane. Raw has the advantage, got DRS from the driver who went into the pit lane, so didn't have to work on defending too hard there. Most of the guys pitting going onto the mediums. So, just 14 drivers left. This group's still battling away. And looks like Raw starting to pull away from 4-star a bit. Despite the fact you'd expect the softs to be suffering more than the mediums. More drivers pitting, Krishna getting 3 seconds of penalties. And Raw now having the fastest lap. That's a very bumpy pit lane. As Jamie Robertson goes up the inside of Dark into turn 1 on his fresh tyres, makes it work. Dark, one of the few drivers not to pit on hard tyres from the start of the race. Him plus the top 6, I guess actually half the grid have pit, the other half haven't. Krishna getting that fastest lap. Jamie Robertson absolutely pulling away from Dark. Warwick Huntsman a mistake there, going wide. And that might cost him. It did. Didn't want to fully rejoin in case he hit Daru. And Daru up into 6th position. There's Ron and Freefall side by side, heading towards 130R. Freefall, not sure if he would have lifted or not there, but would have wanted to concede to conserve his race. As Raw has pitted, as has Freefall. In 4-star currently out front. Bond won't want to go on too much longer. Draper also into the pit lane. Ooh. Big mistake there by Ron. Osborne's tyres have hit the cliff. Main mistake is staying out 1 lap too many. Ron, now 3 seconds of time penalties, too much corner cutting. Raw saving his ERS. And 4-star and Ron still not pitting. Suspect we won't see Dark pits, although... Am I with the wrong people? Maybe. Yes. Jamie Robinson passed Warrior Huntsman up the inside on his fresher tyres, 10 laps newer, and into P4 again for him up there earlier on in the race. And already building some massive time on Warrior Huntsman. So still 5 drivers yet to pit. 1 on the hards, 3 on the mediums, and 1 crazy man on the softs. Although said crazy man on the softs seems to be doing very well this race. But I would be very surprised if he didn't go into the pit lane. Yep, there we go. And now can have, yes, a nice easy second stint. I assume he's going for some mediums. Yep, there we go. And that'll be his tyre to the end. It's Raw looking for a move on Kurt. He's got the inside. Forced to back out. Didn't want to cause a collision there. Now back alongside. And there we go, got himself the inside for the next corner, up into 7th position for Raw, denoting Kurt down. Oh, looked like he nearly had a moment there up ahead. Nice catch by him if he did, and it wasn't just a bit of internet issues. So now more than halfway through the race. Glad to see still got the same 14 drivers. No one else knocked out the race. Oh, now was it Warrior Huntsman that started on... Yeah, I think it was. Started on the mediums. Did he go medium to hard? I think he must have. 4-star, dark and clear PR, likely to try and extend it so they can go on to softs next. Only 3 drivers still out on their starting tyres. That was a scary place to overtake. He gets it done. Can't just stay within the track limits. Probably had to lift through there because of it. Lon's heads in the fastest lap. Despite that mighty overtake through 130R. Majority of drivers now on the tyres they'll take to the end. Ooh, and that is a big mess up by Ron there. Lost lots of front wing. Probably about to lose a position to Kurt. No, Kurt and Draper also all making mistakes. No one really seems to gain in positions. Warrior Huntsman also into the wall. What happened there? So Ron, Kurt, Draper and Warrior Huntsman all making a mistake within 2 or 3 corners, and yet none of them fully out. Well, I'm impressed. Harlem keeping it sufficiently out of the walls there. Those incidents look relatively unrelated, apart from maybe the 2 Hasses. Krishna's still struggling with his hot tyres after his spin. Oh, really struggling with them. That is him out of the Japanese Grand Prix. That is a shame for him. A man needing points. Oh, and that brought out a safety car. Warrior Huntsman just got to drive through for speeding under the safety car. Ouch. At least he's at the back of the grid, you can catch up. Oh no, you can't serve it under the safety car, can you? Did 4-star not pit? Huh. That'll probably come back to bite him. We'll see what he can do with that. Possibly a mistake by him there. I think the guys from 2nd to 5th making the right decision. Everyone else opting for a fresh set of tyres. Not many penalties out at the moment. A couple of 3 seconds plus that drive-through Warrior Huntsman got. Now 4-star is now into the pit lane. Maybe he'd gone past it. Past the pit entry before the safety car was called out. Speaking about where the crash was, it is perfectly possible. How many positions is that going to cost him? I think he'll come out in 5th. I don't think it hurt him too badly. Oh no, lots of other drivers also going into the pit lane. Free fall. I don't know if the pit lane was deliberate or not, but he's in the pit lane. Have a bit of a fight with his car on the way in. And 4-star coming out in 2nd position on fresh softs. I take it back. I think he must have been then that, yeah, wasn't able to go into the pit lane as he'd already passed. That's in a very good position then. Mr. Ruse, medium, has already got a bit of age to them, while 4-star will be on fresh softs. Warrior Huntsman. Did he just get penalties for corner cutting and a safety car? Something you should really be avoiding. The pack now starting to catch up the safety car a bit. Just the front 3 drivers for the moment. And Warrior Huntsman retiring in the pit lane. Down now to just 12 drivers. Can't perfectly remember the point system, but everyone's getting more than a few points. I'd say 6 probably. 12th position is, oh no, 4 points. So looking at everything here, Daru and Rort might possibly be swallowed up by the pack. KXI not necessarily in the best position, and I think he chose to have places over better tyres. Maybe in the right decision, may not. But once again, we're getting the Aston Martin safety car. The race now more than 2/3 gone. Seems very likely the safety car will be in this lap. So we will see. Oh yeah, actually I've just had a look at the Tier 1 qualifying. They're in Q2 at the moment. Their fastest time currently is 28.2. So those guys, another level of crazy. That's not even on to Q3 yet. So hopefully we'll shortly see the safety car in this lap. Yep, there we go. It's now to route to control the pace. Choose when to go. Still not going yet. 4-star wants him to move. And there's plenty of contact going on there. 5-second penalties being thrown around everywhere. Jamie Robertson straight past Raw. As is Dark. Not a good restart for Raw. Oh, Dark's got 2 of them into the first corner. He'll be happy with that. Raw looking to come back on Jamie Robertson, who got him almost immediately. And some big gaps already building up there. Has he got damage of some kind? Well, seems like he's lacking downforce. Does Hobbsy spin? Does he take anyone with him? No, I don't think he did. Nearly a bit of contact there. There's some contact between that Clerpiard into the back of Draper, losing a bit of front wing. As Kurt goes for an absolute send, Jamie Robertson clearly suffering from some kind of damage. Not like I can see it on his front wing, must be on the side pod. I know Nathan was complaining about that the other day in his races. Jamie Robertson just dropping lots and lots of positions here. Ooh, a very good catch there by Draper, just catching that in the background. Safety car Hobbsy is off at Spoon, just to spin it seems. Now with just 7 laps to go, Clerpiard, Jamie Robertson both into the pit lane. Clerpiard for a new front wing. If Jamie Robertson has unfixable damage, I wouldn't be surprised if he retired. They would still be missing out on some points. Wouldn't necessarily be a massive fault. Coming back out with some fresh soft tyres. Root still holding the lead to 4-star. It's wrong, it's a potential move. Not quite close enough, but he'll be able to go for one down the back straight, hopefully. Just needs a good exit here. I got too close to freefall, couldn't follow him right through the corner. Now losing a bit of time to him. Maybe look forward down the main straight, but actually now freefall himself, closer to Kurt, who went wide there. May have incurred a warning. His DRS now re-enabled. KXI looking to get past Raw. Sends it up the inside. Raw perfectly holding it around the outside. Don't know if KXI just didn't try and push his tyres enough, but very well driven by Raw. Holds the outside, sweeps it around the outside, keeps his position. Very good defence by him. Mistake there by Ron. A few drivers seem to be struggling from that left-hander. Full right on Kurtz. Just wants a good exit here. So a good opportunity for an overtake, though catches the curb too much. Perhaps had to lift a little bit as Jamie Robertson gets 3 seconds of penalties. Now 4-star seems closing on Daru as KXI gets past Raw, and this time, yeah, I don't know why he went for the inside line there. I know KXI could have perhaps got a bit quicker through there, but Raw saw how slow he went through their last lap. Oof. And Raw being given 10 seconds of penalties for cutting corners, likely just due to not having a front wing at all. So now we may see a lead change. It's 4-star on a softer compound, fresher tyres. 4-star has, how many? 5 seconds of penalties from a collision under the safety car. If that's not his fault, that can be removed. But Daru potentially has to worry about, was it Krishna he hit? Yeah, can't remember the context behind that. As Jamie Robertson spun in the first sector. Two Hasses passing each other. Yeah, but choosing to concede. If he'd lifted a little bit earlier, he could have carried more speed in. That's on him. Could have lost less time. Now 4-star absolutely flying into the lead. Now ideally he wants to try and find 5 seconds there. I'm not quite sure he's got that much in him. But he's looking for a podium either way. Raw retiring in the pit lane after that collision. Jamie Robertson looks like he crashed off at the exit to Spoon, and that brought out a safety car. Field can be bunched up again, now down to just 10 drivers. Hang on, surely that means there's only going to be 1 lap of racing. So it's definitely not worth pitting unless you're right at the back. So hopefully no one makes the mistake of pitting. No one's done it so far. Of course, if they have damage or are sufficiently far back, then it could be deemed worth it. Kurt does have a big gap to the drivers behind him. I think he might be making the right decision there. He might only lose one position, and on 7-lap old softs could potentially mean he can gain more. Hobbs also into the pit lane. I suspect we'll see two guys at the back also going in. Now this looks good for Daru and Dark. Although I will let you know if I see a report from Krishna now he's no longer in the race. Actually, he went out quite a bit early, didn't he? A lot of drivers often don't report incidents unless it's what took them out. I seem to remember that wasn't what took Krishna out. It's him spinning later down the line. So it seems unlikely the safety car will be released this lap, which means, yeah, it will just be lap 27 where they're racing. One lap of green, which in all likelihood will end in tears for someone. Hopefully it's clean. We have seen it before at Spa. There was 2 lap sprint to the end after a safety car. So a surprisingly small amount of action, just kind of a bit of a train, no one really able to get an overtaking. But with just 1 lap and so many different tyre ages, different penalties in play, it's more to gun for. No safety car in this lap. There will be 2 laps of racing. Ron might want to speed up a little bit then. Now up to 4-star when he goes. If he thinks that penalty can be revoked, and he's got 2 laps to defend to potentially get the win. But of course if he can't... Oh, and a mistake there by Daru on the final corner. Dark immediately looking to seize the opportunity. Now they will pretty much just burn through ERS the entire time. Dark deciding not that straight. Save some of his ERS. A mistake by Kurt there, hopefully a safe rejoin for him. Oh goodness, just. Don't know if I call it safe, but no incidents happened. Daru looking like he's suffering a little bit of internet problems there. None of these guys really all that close for an overtake. Actually, no, Clerpiar in free fall. Right nose to tail there. Free fall going a little wide. Holds the car though. Clerpiar now under threat from the other McLaren behind in a bit of a McLaren sandwich. Although surely Hobbsy concedes the corner. Poof. Stayed within track limits, but only just. It's KXI gets lunged by Draper. Hobbsy getting 3 seconds of penalties. KXI immediately getting Draper straight back as Ron now gets the fastest lap. No, KXI gives the corner. Draper going wide there. Maybe he's seen the penalty and he knows it's going to cause, yeah, Draper to drop back a position. Sticking on gap to the lead as we can see how much the penalties are going to do. 4-star looking like he'll be down to 5th. It kicks in. This McLaren sandwich still fully ongoing. And this Daru actually closing down on the leader a bit, only 4.5 tenths between them. Kurt looking for the move. These 3 at the back, all with the same amount of penalties. So they are essentially fighting for position. A mistake there by Hobbsy. Ron might be able to get something here. I'll keep an eye on the two leaders though. Deroux surely too far back to go for a move. Please don't go for a lunge from that far back. No, good. And that is Forster coming across the line in the lead. Deroux though getting it on penalties. Draper in 4th position. And I did not see what happened because they were all so close together. But Deroux taking front spots on the podium. Dark in 2nd and KXI in 3rd. 4-star. Penalty demoted him down to 4th. I'm sure we'll hear pretty quickly if he thinks that wasn't his fault. Yeah, that concludes the Japanese Grand Prix. We'll get the drivers in for a post-race interview and talk to them about how the race went. So Ron will get that 1 bonus point for fastest lap, as yeah, Deroux getting the win there. Dark in 2nd, coming from 15th actually. KXI Championship leader in 3rd, so that'll help him extend his lead over 4-star. Both of which will extend their lead on Steiny. I'm not sure anyone else will be that close. It's nice to see Deroux get near the top though, currently 8th position. Certainly a fast driver then. Freefall, Draper, Hobbsy, Kurt, Ron, and Clerpiard does classify as finishing. Who was it who crashed right near the end? I think it was Clerpiard, wasn't it? I can't remember. Still feeling off from a cold. Okay, I will now hopefully get the drivers in for a post-race interview. Although we'll get Deroux, Dark, KXI and 4-star. As 4-star, well, 4th. Maeve? Yeah, he's already said please remove for 5 seconds. I'm not sure how joking he's being about that, but I will quickly get the guys in, or ask them anyway. Who's my 4th one? KXI, of course. Back again for more. So depending on whether or not Forster gets his penalty removed, KXI might have lost his podium streak. Give me a second to get them into a party. And I'll get that sorted as quickly as possible. Ah, have I just cancelled the message I just sent? Maybe. Get them in for a quick interview. Oh yeah, I need to actually join the party, don't I? Oh, I've been a computer buffoon. Hang on. Hello, hello.
Hey.
Congrats on your 3rd or 4th. I don't know how certain KXI's 5-second removal is, but...
Yeah, 4-star. I didn't see it, but I'm gonna assume that he's gonna get that removed, so yeah. Be 4th for the eye, I'm assuming.
Hello.
There he is. Hello. Speak of the devil. What's the likelihood that your penalty gets removed?
I'm hoping high, because I don't think I did anything. I was just right on the tail of De Rouge for the safety car, and I just got punted in the rear. I don't think I really did anything wrong. I wasn't being erratic or anything, I don't think, so hopefully I'll be alright,
Yeah.
hopefully.
I remember seeing it was a bit of a kind of chaotic one, looking back.
I think there was a pile of 3 cars, I think all punted into the back of each other at one point, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Daroot, congratulations on your podium.
Yes. Thanks.
Is this your...
Second one in a row.
What a mate.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Congrats.
Actually, it's nice to see you moving up the championship order, because you're, I'd say you're one of the quickest drivers here, but you kind of get quite unlucky in the races.
I know. First week I was in Paris with the missus and missed that one, and then the second one I did, and then the third one I missed again, and then the fourth one Jamie took me out because of internet issues. So it's been a bit unlucky, but I'm climbing up.
Yeah. Well, I think that's going to be what 4-star and KXI. You definitely still 1-2 in the championship. I think you might possibly jump up to 3rd.
Maybe, yeah.
Because Steiny didn't score, and
Nice.
where was Freefall in the end? Oh, he was 5th. Oh, you might not then.
Nice.
But that's still definitely a top 4 result. Well, top 4 in the championship now.
How did Steiny die?
Who knows?
I'm trying to remember.
It
I
was,
need to touch it back.
if I remember, in the wall on the exit of that long right-hander at the end of the first sector, after at the end of the S's.
Oh, that's tough. Yeah. Well.
Yeah, because he went right into the start, didn't he? There was the 2 Ferraris back to back, and then Steiny not long after. Well, any comments on the race? I'm trying not to talk too much because I'm going to cough if I do.
I thought I had it in the bag at one point, and then I saw 4-star being like 10 seconds ahead, but he still had the pit. And I thought, that's fine. And then I see Krishna out. Like, no, not again.
When that safety car came out, I literally crossed the finish line and said, right, I'm in this lap no matter what. It's now or never safety car. And then, of course, it threw it out as I went across the start line. I couldn't have asked for much more, really.
Yeah. You were faster towards the end.
It was the tyres, mate. It was just the tyres. That's all it was.
Yeah, but still, I wasn't really catching up that much when you were still on those mediums before you went into the pits.
Yeah, I was watching it. I was watching the gap. It was a solid 10 seconds. I mean, if I'd have had to pit without the safety car, you'd have probably had 15 or so on me, easily.
Okay, so on the podium again. Oh, wait, no, P4.
No,
Yeah,
probably
maybe
P4.
assume I'm P4 for now.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see.
Pretty unlucky for 4-star.
Did I slow too much down or something towards the end on the safety car restart? Because I saw loads of people get like 5-second penalties.
Yeah, it was about 3 cars. I'm just watching the video now. I mean, we were a solid like 60 mile an hour for give or take 5
I think
on and off. So I don't think it was too bad, to be fair.
Yeah, from what I saw, someone floored it out the exit of the chicane and then quite quickly realised that they couldn't. And then everyone else just kind of did the same. Some contact was going to happen.
Yeah, that made the rest of the midfield like jump as well.
I was actually going to go for it through the chicane, but the safety car was still at the pit entry.
Fair enough.
It still looked quite close. So I thought maybe I'll get a penalty or something. I'd go too fast, but yeah.
Yeah, because I know Jamie Robertson, when he got his damage, he kept falling down to the field. I don't know if that was front wing, because his front wing looked intact, but It's a shame for him to have. Yeah, well, that was what I said. But certainly, seeing him fall down to the field wouldn't have been great for him. Didn't sound particularly happy from what he put in afterwards. But, yeah.
To be fair, I'm really grateful for finishing at Japan because I usually tend to crash out it towards like in the S section. I did it last year as well.
That was my game plan as well. Just get to the flag.
There were a lot of guys who didn't make it past the. Well, kept crashing on the sweeping left-hander at the end of the S's, that uphill one. There were more than one DNF on that corner. I know Warren Huntsman struggled in qualifying.
He's a toughie, that, to be fair.
Yeah.
Right, well, I will let you guys go celebrate your podiums. Apart from KXI, you can celebrate your 4th. So,
if it gets removed, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, if it gets removed, technically, you technically don't extend your championship lead because 4-star will still gain a new but yeah.
Well,
yeah, can't let him get away.
Good position for you to be in, though.
For me to get a good result, typically he ends up like 3rd or 4th. Like of all races, I could have done with you like being down the order really, but never mind. Keep chipping away.
This is going down to the wire. It'll finish in Brazil, like Steiny said. So.
And it's gonna rain. It's gonna rain.
Great.
Actually, we've got a gap week next week, don't we? How are you guys in Portimao finding the new track?
Haven't done it loads for me.
It's a difficult one. Very technical. There's one corner I just tend to spin out when the one that you go up to the right. I don't know which one it is, like turn 6 or 7.
That's a tough one. I had a race Monday night and yeah, I crashed. So it's a little practice, I think.
Yeah. Well, you got 2 weeks, so I guess that's to your advantage.
Oh yeah, that's a break week, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, I'll let you guys go celebrate your podiums, your not podiums.
So, but thanks for
one of you through, didn't you? Yeah. Yeah. Thank you guys.
Yeah. Cheers, guys. Well done, everyone. Good race.
GG.
Right, so there we go. That concludes round 6. Break week next week, and then after that on to the new track of Portimao. In the meantime, go watch Tier 1. It is on the CRL channel. They're going to be starting the race probably imminently. I'll have a quick look myself. But definitely go watch them. They're lightning fast. They're very aggressive overtakers. Yeah, their formation lap starts in 20 seconds. So go watch them. Don't listen to me blab on. But from me, that is goodbye until 2 weeks' time. So hopefully see you then.